Ruth Langsford, the beloved TV presenter, has been struck by a heart-wrenching event. Known for her strength and poise, Ruth now faces one of the toughest times of her life. The sad news has left her fans and loved ones in shock. Ruth Langsford is devastated after something sad happened. How is she coping with the sudden tragedy? The story of Ruth Langsford's heartache touches us all. Ruth Langsford's world turned upside down when she received the heart-wrenching news. Her beloved mother, Joan, passed away unexpectedly. The bond between Ruth and her mother was powerful, making this loss even more painful. Joan was not just a mother, but also Ruth's confidant and biggest supporter. Ruth's initial reaction was one of profound grief. She was at home when she got the call, and the weight of the words brought her to her knees. Tears streamed down her face as she struggled to process the new reality. Her husband, Eamon Holmes, was by her side instantly, offering comfort and holding her as she wept. The news spread quickly among their close friends and family. Eamon called their children and Ruth's siblings, who rushed to be with her. The family gathered to support each other, sharing memories of Joan and comforting one another. Ruth's friends in the television industry also reached out, offering their condolences and support. This outpouring of love was a small solace during such a dark time. Ruth Langsford felt overwhelming sadness, but showed remarkable strength. Just days after her mother's passing, she decided to address her fans. She posted a heartfelt message on social media, sharing the sad news and expressing her gratitude for the support she had received. Ruth's words were filled with love and sorrow, but also with a sense of hope. She spoke about her mother's vibrant spirit and the cherished memories they shared. What Ruth did next left everyone surprised. Instead of retreating into solitude, she made a brave choice to return to her hosting duties on Loose Women. Ruth felt that her mother would have wanted her to continue doing what she loved. Her decision to face the public so soon after such a personal tragedy was both courageous and inspiring. It showed her resilience and dedication to her work, and it deeply moved her audience. What hidden detail in Ruth's message shocked everyone? Ruth Langsford chose a poignant moment to share the heartbreaking news with the public. She knew it was essential to address her fans directly, so she issued a press release. Ruth's team crafted a simple but emotional statement, expressing their deep sorrow she felt over her mother's sudden passing. The press release read, "With a heavy heart, I shared the news that my beloved mother, Joan, had passed away. She was my rock, my confidant, and my greatest supporter. Words cannot express the depth of my loss. I thank you all for your understanding and support during this incredibly difficult time." The media quickly picked up on the story. Headlines appeared across major news outlets, each capturing the sorrow in Ruth's words. The public's reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Social media platforms were flooded with messages of sympathy and support. Fans from around the world sent their condolences, sharing their own stories of loss and expressing their admiration for Ruth's strength. Ruth's heartfelt message to her fans was deeply moving. In her own words, she wrote on her Instagram, "Mom, you are the most incredible woman. Your spirit and love will always guide me. I know you're watching over us, and your memory will live on in our hearts. Thank you to everyone for your kind messages and support. It means more than you can know." The sincerity of Ruth's message touched many hearts. Her vulnerability and honesty resonated with her audience, making them feel a personal connection to her grief. The love and support from her fans provided Ruth with a small measure of comfort during this tragic time. However, there was one detail in Ruth's message that caught everyone off guard. She mentioned a cherished locket that her mother always wore, which was now lost. This small but significant detail added a layer of poignancy to her message, highlighting the personal loss beyond words. The locket symbolizes the deep bond between Ruth and her mother, making the story even more touching. Who stepped up in a surprising way to support Ruth? Ruth Langsford's grief was overwhelming behind closed doors. She struggled to come to terms with her mother's death. Ruth often found herself crying alone, feeling a void that nothing could fill. Her vibrant personality dimmed as she grappled with the pain. Sleep eluded her, and even the simplest tasks seemed monumental. The impact on her family was profound. Eamon, her husband, tried his best to be a pillar of strength. He managed the household, ensuring Ruth had space to mourn. Their children were deeply affected too. They missed their grandmother and felt the weight of their mother's sorrow. The family grew closer, united in their grief, supporting each other through the difficult days. Ruth's daily life changed drastically. Mornings, once filled with joy and routine, became quiet and somber. She avoided her usual activities, finding it hard to face the world outside. Hosting loose women, something she loved, became a challenge. Ruth decided to take a break from the show, needing time to heal away from the public eye. Friends and colleagues reached out, offering their support. They sent flowers, cards, and messages, hoping to provide some comfort. But it was the unexpected support from a surprising source that truly touched Ruth. Ruth's neighbor, someone she barely knew, stepped up significantly. This neighbor, an elderly woman named Margaret, had noticed Ruth's absence from her usual morning walks. One day, Margaret knocked on Ruth's door, bringing homemade soup and a warm smile. She shared her own story of loss and offered a listening ear. The small act of kindness blossomed into a meaningful friendship. Margaret visited Ruth regularly, helping her find moments of peace and distraction from her grief. They would sit and talk for hours, sharing memories and stories. Margaret's support was a beacon of light in Ruth's dark days, showing that even strangers could offer profound comfort. What did a close friend reveal about Ruth's situation? Ruth Langsford received an outpouring of support from her friends and colleagues during this tough time. Messages of comfort and sympathy came flooding in. Her Loose Women co-hosts were among the first to reach out. They sent heartfelt messages and visited Ruth at home, offering shoulders to cry on and ears to listen. Their solidarity was a testament to their close bond. Colleagues from other shows also showed their support. Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield from This Morning sent flowers and a handwritten note. They expressed their deep sorrow and offered any help Ruth might need. Their kind words and gestures provided some solace during her darkest days. Public figures outside the TV world reached out too. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak sent a letter expressing his condolences and acknowledging Ruth's contributions to television. His thoughtful words showed how far-reaching Ruth's impact had been. Social media played a significant role in providing comfort. Ruth's fans from around the world sent thousands of messages. They shared their own stories of loss, offering empathy and support. The hashtag #SupportForRuth trended for days, showing just how much she was loved and admired. These messages of support were a constant reminder that she was not alone. Ruth's Instagram was filled with comments from fans and celebrities alike. Davina McCall wrote, "Sending you all my love, Ruth. Stay strong." Pierce Morgan tweeted, "Heartbroken for you, Ruth. Stay strong." These messages, though simple, meant the world to Ruth. She often read them late at night when sleep eluded her, finding comfort in the kind words. One close friend revealed something touching about Ruth's situation. Jane Moore, her fellow Loose Women host, shared that Ruth had been spending her days looking through old photo albums. She found comfort in the memories and stories captured in those photos. Jane's revelation offered a glimpse into Ruth's private moments of reflection and healing. This network of support from friends, colleagues, public figures, and fans helped Ruth through the hardest days. Their love and kindness provided a lifeline, reminding her that she was surrounded by people who cared deeply for her. What did Ruth say during her first public appearance post-incident? Ruth Langsford's journey through grief has been a challenging one. To cope with her immense loss, she turned to several coping mechanisms. Ruth found solace in journaling, writing down her thoughts and feelings. This daily ritual helped her process the pain and keep her mother's memory alive. She also spent time in her garden, a place that brought her peace and a sense of closeness to her mom. Seeking professional help was also a crucial step for Ruth. She started seeing a therapist to help navigate her grief. The sessions provided a safe space for Ruth to express her emotions and learn ways to manage her sorrow. Counseling helped her understand that it was okay to grieve and that taking time to heal was important. Despite her grief, Ruth made a brave return to public life. Her first appearance back was on Loose Women, where she shared her story with viewers. Ruth's demeanor was composed but reflective. She thanked everyone for their support and opened up about the emotional roller coaster she had been on. Her courage to speak publicly about her pain was inspiring. In her first public appearance post-incident, Ruth said something that touched everyone's hearts. She looked into the camera and said, "My mom was my best friend. Losing her has been the hardest thing I've ever faced. But I know she would want me to keep going, to keep smiling. Thank you all for your support. It means more than you know." Her words were a powerful reminder of the love and resilience she embodied. How did Ruth's fans react to her career decisions? Ruth Langsford had to make significant changes to her work life after her mother's passing. She took a step back from some of her professional commitments, recognizing the need to focus on her well-being. Ruth decided to take a break from hosting Loose Women to give herself time to grieve and heal. This decision was not easy, but it was necessary for her mental health. Her employers and colleagues have been incredibly supportive during this time. ITV, the network behind Loose Women, fully backed her decision to take a break. They understood the importance of allowing her time to recover and offered any help she needed. Ruth's co-host also rallied around her, taking on additional responsibilities to cover her absence. Their support has been a pillar of strength for Ruth. As Ruth looks to the future, she has clear plans to gradually return to her work. She intends to ease back into her role on Loose Women when she feels ready. Ruth also plans to focus more on projects that allow her to connect with her audience in a meaningful way. She wants to continue using her platform to raise awareness about issues close to her heart, including mental health and grief. Ruth's fans have had a strong reaction to her career decisions. Many expressed their support and understanding, flooding social media with messages of love and encouragement. They appreciated her honesty about needing time to heal and respected her choice to prioritize her well-being. The overwhelming support from her fans has been a source of comfort and strength for Ruth during this difficult time. One fan wrote, "Take all the time you need, Ruth. We'll be here waiting for you." Another commented, "Your well-being is what matters most. We support you always." These messages highlight the deep connection Ruth has with her audience and how much they care for her. What unexpected act of kindness left Ruth speechless? Ruth Langsford experienced numerous acts of kindness from her fans during her grief. She received countless letters and messages filled with love and support. One fan, a young girl, sent Ruth a handmade card with a drawing of Ruth and her mother, along with a heartfelt note expressing her sympathy. This simple act of kindness touched Ruth deeply, bringing tears to her eyes. The community around Ruth also rallied in a significant way. Neighbors brought meals to her home, ensuring that she didn't have to worry about cooking. Local businesses sent flowers and care packages, showing their support. Even her favorite coffee shop left her favorite drink on her doorstep each morning with a kind note. These gestures created a warm cocoon of support around Ruth, helping her feel less alone during such a difficult time. Through this ordeal, Ruth has experienced personal growth. She's become more appreciative of the small moments in life and the people around her. Ruth now takes time each day to reflect and express gratitude, finding peace in these quiet moments. She's also become an advocate for mental health, using her platform to encourage others to seek help when they need it. Ruth's journey through grief has strengthened her resolve and deepened her compassion for others. An unexpected act of kindness left Ruth speechless. A group of loyal fans organized a charity event in memory of her mother. They raised funds to support a cause Joan cared deeply about: children's education. When Ruth heard about this, she was overwhelmed with emotion. She couldn't believe that people who had never met her mother would honor her in such a meaningful way. This act of kindness not only honored her mother's legacy, but also brought Ruth immense comfort and pride. What powerful message did Ruth share with her followers? Ruth Langsford has spent a lot of time reflecting on life after the loss of her mother. She often thinks about how fragile life is and how important it is to cherish every moment. Ruth realized that it's crucial to tell loved ones how much they mean to you and to spend quality time with them. Her mother's passing has taught her to value the small, everyday moments that we often take for granted. Ruth has shared some words of wisdom with her followers. She encourages everyone to take care of their mental health and to seek help when needed. Ruth emphasizes that it's okay to feel sad and that grieving is a natural part of life. She advises people to lean on their friends and family for support, just as she did. Ruth also talks about the importance of self-care and finding activities that bring joy and peace. Looking ahead, Ruth has several hopes and plans for the future. She wants to continue her work on loose women and other projects, but with a renewed focus on mental health awareness. Ruth plans to get involved in campaigns and initiatives that support those going through grief. She also hopes to spend more time with her family, creating new memories while honoring the old ones. A powerful message Ruth shared with her followers touched many hearts. She said, "Grief is not something you overcome, but something you learn to live with. It's a journey that changes you, but also makes you stronger. Remember to be kind to yourself and give yourself time to heal." These words resonated deeply with her audience, offering comfort and understanding to those who were also grieving. Ruth's reflections, advice, and plans all stem from her deep love for her mother and her desire to help others. Her journey through grief has not only changed her, but has also inspired many. What surprising change did Ruth make in her life recently? Ruth Langsford has been taking deliberate steps to heal and move forward after the loss of her mother. One of the first steps she took was to create a daily routine that included time for self-care. Ruth started each day with a quiet walk in her garden, finding peace among the flowers her mother loved. She also dedicated time each day to journaling, where she could express her thoughts and feelings. Ruth found great comfort in joining a support group for those who had lost loved ones. Sharing her story with others who understood her pain made her feel less alone. The group meetings became a safe space for Ruth to talk about her grief and to listen to others. This mutual support was a crucial part of her healing process. Therapy also played a significant role in Ruth's journey. Her therapist helped her navigate the complex emotions that come with loss. Through regular sessions, Ruth learned coping strategies and found ways to honor her mother's memory while also moving forward. The therapy sessions were a sanctuary where she could be open about her feelings without fear of judgment. Hope and resilience have marked Ruth's journey toward finding peace and strength. She focused on the positive memories of her mother, celebrating the life she lived rather than just mourning her loss. Ruth started a small garden project, planting her mother's favorite flowers as a living tribute. This act of creation gave her a sense of connection to her mother and a tangible way to channel her grief into something beautiful. A surprising change Ruth made in her life recently was adopting a dog from a local shelter. She named the dog Daisy, after her mother's favorite flower. This new companion brought joy and energy into Ruth's life, giving her a renewed sense of purpose. Daisy's playful nature and unconditional love helped Ruth find moments of happiness and distraction from her sorrow. Ruth's road to healing is a testament to the power of support and the human spirit's ability to overcome even the darkest times. Her deliberate steps, the support from therapy and groups, and the unexpected joy from Daisy are all helping her move forward with hope and resilience. Ruth Langsford's journey through this heartbreaking event has shown her strength and resilience. Her story of loss, love, and healing touches us all. If Ruth's story moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more heartfelt stories. Your support means the world to us.